Welcome back. We are in a state of lockdown for about 3 weeks. So far, we've managed to get by 4 days. The big challenge, of course, for the governments, for the authorities, for the companies, is to ensure that the entire supply chain of essentials, food, water and medicines continues and that doesn't get disrupted. Now, in the first few days, we highlighted to you the kind of problems that existed, the fact that an immediate lockdown meant that the supplies were not able to reach the mandis, the cities, that even in the factories, workers were not allowed to enter. They couldn't make it to work, so the work became extremely difficult. Now, where are we? Let's try and get a sense of it. I've got Mr. George, CEO of Bisleri International, joining us right now, a company that provides water, purified water, as well as many, many beverages. Mr. George, thank you so much for speaking with us. How has it been now? We're 4 days into the lockdown. Has the supply chain smoothened out?
Hi, I think we are going through an unprecedented situation. The epidemic has impacted our lives, our families, work, business, I think in more ways than we have ever imagined. The government machinery is doing a fabulous job. Now, however, coming to essential items in these days, I think food and water are the most basic of the requirements. We take great pride that Bisleri has provided safe water to consumers for over 50 years. Now, in the urban part, you really have a problem because you have only less than 50% of the households with individual connections. So packaged drinking water is so important for people and they need it now more than ever. And as a leading brand, we want to ensure the consumers have access to water. Not only consumers, we are also providing free Bisleri water to the police force who are enforcing control. We are also providing free supplies to the isolation centers for COVID-19 patients. Now, we have set up a system to provide consumers to get them access to safe drinking water. We have introduced a direct delivery mechanism, Bisleri at the doorstep, where consumers can call us, our customer care number, indicate the quantity, and we will deliver it within 24 hours. They need not step out of their house. Now, the challenge is, as per the government guidelines, the transportation and distribution of essential items should be permitted by the local authorities. Permissions are required for us, for the factories to operate, staff to move around, distribution vehicles to move in the markets, and even packaging materials that are actually transported across the states. We are constrained with a lack of clarity on the procedures, particularly when we have to interface with multiple agencies managing the situation. We need the support of the government and the local authorities. Now, we understand that the government officials have been working round the clock under the difficult situation, appreciate issues in coordination. Having said that, some of the states have been very proactive in issuing employee and vehicle passes, and we have been able to resume services over there. In fact, there is an enhanced demand in the current scenario, and we feel really constrained that we are unable to service it in the absence of some of the issues. Now, to share some of the positive instances, there was a clear communication from the DGP of Maharashtra to all the police officers regarding movement of essential goods. Excellent processes put in place in Bangalore, Agra, the Kerala police. However, some states are still grappling with the processes and essential services are constrained. I'm sure things are improving. Things will be sorted out in the next few days.
You said, Mr. George, that you were looking at providing, or delivering water to the doorstep of the people. In how many cities and states are you hoping to be able to provide this once the permission problem is sorted out?
We will have this facility at least in the top 40 cities in the country.
Okay.
And our teams across the ground are actually geared up for this.
Okay.
Now, we have 3 requests to the government fundamentally. One, enable the essential items like Bisleri to be serviced without constraints on manufacturing and distribution. The permissions must also cover the raw materials and packaging materials as essential items so that it will facilitate movement across the interstate borders. And one more, which is create a nodal agency at the central government level, which can harmonize the procedures and approvals across the states. I mean, these are the 3 requests that we have.
Okay, my last question to you also very quickly. Do you think the government needs to look at an alternative solution for the fact that while, yes, in some states they have begun to give permissions very quickly, the fact that you have so many people involved at so many different levels, there needs to be a consolidated way to do this?
That is what I'm seeking through a nodal agency which can possibly define the processes across the states, which will help everyone.
All right, Mr. Angelo George, thank you so much for joining us and speaking to us here on Mirror Now. We hope that you're able to sort out these issues with the government soon, because amongst the essentials, the most important is water and purified water. Thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you.